Hello, everyone. Well, we are here to empower women going through menopausal journey. Well, today I have a researcher, Mary Gilbert. She has dedicated her professional life to research of nutritional healing for the last 30 plus years. So she's here to talk to us about different kind of remedies or natural therapies that women can use to help with their menopausal symptoms. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you for having me very much. I'm glad to be here. So for the last 45 years, I've been helping people improve all their body systems through nutritional healing. I've done many years of diving into the scientific literature and examining, just indigenous healing methods and putting it all together for protocols for my clients. So what I have found over the years, and even for myself, being 68 years old, I should say years young, because when you maintain your hormones properly, then your body acts like it's a younger person. And I think that's a natural thing. People age abnormally because of all of the problems. So I'll go over three basic components of my protocol to avoid menopausal symptoms. I myself and many of my clients have never experienced menopausal symptoms. So you can avoid those symptoms. First of all, by normalizing your hormonal functioning, and secondly, for weight management mastery, what I call with my nutritional synergy and weight management mastery system, to turn your body back in time to have all of your trillions of cells in your body and all of your hormones to act like a younger person. And this is how I have found it can be done. So the third element is to just naturally eliminate synthetic chemicals that clog all of the circulatory systems and prevent the glandular system and the production of hormones from being clogged. And so when you do all of the repair work at the DNA level through nutritional healing, then all these phytochemical compounds that are in plants in the plant kingdom have been shown to help eliminate and reduce the amount of synthetic toxic chemical burden in the body. So once you eliminate that gradually, of course, I don't advocate anything very drastic. When you improve your diet and you do all of the right things, your body gradually eliminates these toxic chemicals with the aid of these wonderful biochemical compounds that are in the plant kingdom. I've actually produced a book on 109 botanicals, just gathered information, the scientific data, and produced monographs. And I found that so many of these phytochemical compounds will actually bind to these toxic chemicals and cleanse the system. So nothing, fast, nothing drastic to make any uncomfortable symptoms happen. So you want to do this gradually. But let me go back to number one, normalize hormonal functioning. So first of all, you need to avoid all foods that disrupt these hormonal functions and cause increased body fat. You want to generally increase your lean body mass ratio and reduce the body fat that holds all of these toxic chemicals. So the phytochemical compounds in plants will bind molecularly to these synthetics and allow the system to eliminate them safely. So it gives them an avenue of elimination through the 5 eliminative organs. Eating organically grown fresh foods are very important also, because when you have foods grown in a nutrient-rich environment and aren't sprayed with toxic pesticides and herbicides, then you have a cleaner food. And also, when you nourish the soil and you transform the environment in which these nutrients form and help the growth and development of plants, then those plants are going to be highly nutritious as well, a lot more nutritious. There's been a lot of studies comparing the traditional farming methods versus the permaculture or regenerative farming or organic types of methodologies to raise our foods. So those are generally higher in minerals and vitamins and phytonutrient compounds. So organic, even though you pay a little extra for them, it's worth it. You won't be as hungry, therefore you won't need as much food to satisfy your appetite and your cravings kind of thing. So that's the first thing to do. So choosing organic, whole food, multi-nutrient nutritional supplement is important as well, one that contains all of the vitamins and minerals from the whole foods contained in the same formulation. More companies out there are starting to produce these kinds of supplements. So generally, my nutritional synergy system that I developed years ago for clients it addresses any health issue because it has 14 different categories, and no food system out there has as many categories to choose from. And this ensures that a person will choose a huge variety of foods. You know, the herbs and the spices are very important for medicinal purposes and detoxifying, and the fresh leafy greens and the vegetables and the root vegetables, you know, and the different types of nuts that are out there containing different types of fatty acids and different phytochemical compounds are also very, very important for not only detoxifying gradually, but to also nourish the precursors that the body will use to create the different types of hormones. There's 10,000 hormones that science has discovered so far. These are regulating hormones, and they start and stop bodily processes with the aid of the communication systems in the body, like the immune system and the nervous system. So they all work together to determine what to do to repair and detoxify and improve the functioning of cells. So whole foods is extremely important, and the types of soils that they're grown in. And also the body needs all of the 8 essential amino acids, 9 if you're an infant. So 1 extra amino acid that the body cannot manufacture if you're an infant. So we cannot manufacture these fundamental 8 essential building blocks of all the millions, trillions of proteins in the body that the body must make. And this includes all the systemic enzymes and the different types of hormones and all of the cell structures that multiple trillions of cells in our body need to be properly structured and therefore properly functioning. So all of this is very important too, the right types of proteins, and also the whole food fats. To me, that's one of the culprits that causes more health issues that I've seen over, you know, many decades on people eating the wrong types of fats. So heating oils is just molecularly causes the molecules to rearrange themselves into what's called a trans fat. And normally whole food fats contain what are called cis fats. So they are arranged differently, and they are able to enter the cell membrane sites. They are able to be accepted through the cell membrane sites in order to do repair work and regenerative work inside the cells. So all of this is, you know, we are composed of all of these basic fundamental elements on the earth. And so we need to replenish those in the right forms. You know, we can't ingest rocks. They contain minerals, yes, but plants are able to alter their atomic and molecular structures and their negatively charged particles, that kind of thing. It's all happening at the sub-molecular, quantum energy level, actually, too. Energy is extremely important for fueling our bodies as well. So we need to get out in the sunlight. We need to exercise and you know, just get out there and improve our circulation one way or another. Do you have to join a gym and weight lift like crazy and you know, become a running fanatic? Not necessarily, especially as we age. Any kind of exercise that increases the circulatory system and allows you to breathe more deeply, to deliver more oxygen to the body, those kinds of things are must all be put together, and they must all be present in order for the body to function much at a cleaner, you know, more efficient metabolic rate, and to avoid all of the toxins too that disrupt our hormones that in turn cause a lot of these menopausal symptoms. So that's number one. The second one, I have a system called Weight Management Mastery, and that includes different types of fitness. You know, if you're able to do a little bit of weight training, a little bit of lightweight resistance exercises, those go a long way to storing keeping the bones matrix strong, and rather than having, you know, go into osteoporosis or anything that just degenerates the bones. So a little bit of weight training goes a long way. Many studies have shown that even seniors in their 90s who've never even exercised in years, or maybe not at all, they put them on a lightweight training program, and they actually have been shown to increase their bone mass, adjust their hormones, and give them more strength and actually more confidence. And it raises all kinds of hormones that regulate mood. So it's just this whole wonderful cascade effect happens when you do a little bit of weight training. Also in my holistic exercise protocol, I also include aerobic exercise, a little bit of fat burning exercise. So anything that elevates the heart rates, even if it's ever so slightly, sustained over a period of time, will kick into the fat burning stage. So when you combine weight training with the fat burning, your body will transform in many ways. That you won't just look fabulous, but you will also, on the inside, in the cellular networks, that everything will be functioning at a much more youthful level. So the body produces a growth hormone. It's called the growth hormone. It's the fundamental hormone to making sure that all cells function at an elevated rate and more efficient rate. So that's the other thing. Flexibility exercises, of course, are very important. No bouncing, just gentle stretching like Tai Chi or yoga. Those are excellent ways to maintain flexibility. They're gentle and all in all, if you stick to this for at least 30 days, you'll start noticing more and more. It'll be like an accelerated effect where you will improve and keep improving and improving as time goes on. So you will get quality of life back. You won't have these horrible hot flashes, right? Fatigue and mood swings. All of these things are affected by what we put into our body. The right molecules need to be there all the time. So the third thing is to naturally eliminate synthetic chemicals. So we are always exposed to these toxic chemicals that are actually very similar to our fat molecules. So when the body starts storing these chemicals, they actually clog the systems. They've been associated with heart disease and cancers, and just interfering with the gut, with the stomach, and the colon environment. So we want to make sure that we're not choosing all of these different items out there for consumers. And that includes household cleaning products, industrial products, exposure to the air and the water and pesticides, genetically modified organisms in different various foods, and cosmetics, body care products. All of these contain synthetic chemicals that are actually absorbed through the skin, some of them can enter into the bloodstream and circulate and clog the microcirculatory systems like the lymph nodes, and the glands. So this is another aspect that one needs to pay attention to avoid these menopausal symptoms. Also, tap water, tap water and distilled water and minimal filtration systems that you attach to your faucet, those don't get rid of the toxic elements like mercury, lead, cadmium, aluminum. Drug residues are found in the water that we drink. So all these different toxic pollutants can actually add up and be stored in the body. In fact, in the last 3 generations, the amount of toxic chemicals that have been stored in the body systems have been passed on to infants. Infants are actually born with, last time I checked, it was over 200 chemicals in a little newborn infant's body. So we are with these chemicals throughout life. But if we're aware of what we can do to detoxify and get rid of them so that our hormones will function properly, our glandular systems will not be impaired or clogged up, literally clogged up with these chemicals. And also, clog up the arteries. We have found that there's been studies that have been shown when people have passed away and they've examined the arteries, the plaques that are formed in the arteries that cause the heart attacks or the strokes are not consisting of cholesterol. Actually, that's been given bad press, bad rap, so it's a lot of these toxic chemicals that will also start to clog the circulatory systems as well. So we want to maintain pliable, flexible blood vessels. We want to maintain our circulatory system and the foods that will bind and take away and dissolve. Even our immune systems can dissolve them as well, but we have to maintain our immune systems as well. So it's a matter of just making sure that we are putting things in our body that will repair the DNA mechanisms that might be damaged from all of the above, and make sure that everything's working properly.
Wow, that's a lot of information. I just this is a quick 10-15 minute session that we bring. So
right.
So I just wanted you to talk to us just 4 or 5 things from a you talked a lot about putting the right food, eliminating toxins, exercise. But just from a nutritional healing point of view, from where your expertise is, 4 or 5 food items or nutritional products, or not even products, nutritional foods, I should say, that women
Yes.
should focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. Fresh fruits, especially those that are higher in the omega-3 fatty acids like avocado and the apricots, and actually the rind in citrus fruits contain essential oils that help improve that. And also raw nuts and seeds, the ones that are high in omega-3 fatty acids. So that would be like walnuts and or any of the organic cold pressed oils like avocado oil and olive oil. Use those in small amounts because it takes a lot of tonnage of plants to create even a tablespoon of those healthy oils. So everything in moderation. So yeah, the most thing you should focus on is the enzyme active, phytonutrient rich leafy greens and herbs, fresh fruits and vegetables, and especially the berries. The berries contain a lot of wonderful phytochemicals that help regulate so many different bodily processes. So any kind of the berries is a great idea to add to the diet every single day. So, maintaining your protein intake. Of course, you need those amino acids to rebuild all of the whole body. The whole body's practically made out of complete proteins. So we need those amino acids from those food groups. Yeah, so specific foods, just make sure that the animals or the plants have been raised in nutrient-rich environments. And so, it's just a matter of eating a variety of foods, not just sticking to the specific foods I just mentioned.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I think that's great information. So much information for women to chew on, but this is all doable. Like you said, you're 68 years old and you look amazing, and you didn't go through all the symptoms that most of the women go through, or even they have to go through the hormone replacement therapy, right? And
Right,
I don't even want to go there actually right now.
Yeah, and I don't believe that's necessary. I've seen it over and over and over again, and I'm the personal testimony as well, sitting before you. And so I've been teaching everyone to do this, and it's amazing. If you'd like, anyone can go to my holisticchoices.com website and look at everything that I have to offer there. And just look me up on YouTube under at Holistic Choices, or just my name, Mary Esther Gilbert, and you'll find me on YouTube. So yeah, there's a lot of educational videos there, and books that I've written, and a school that I'll be starting online. I'm developing the school right now, True Health Mastery Academy. So a lot of things are coming. And also, if anyone would like a copy of this outline that we talked about today, I would be happy to email that to anyone that would like to contact me. Just use the contact form on my website, and I'll be happy to email the PDF file for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll definitely do that. I think it's a lot of information which people would find very useful. So if you can just give them bite-sized information, that would be really good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate all the wealth of knowledge that you have accumulated for helping women heal around the world. It's beautiful, amazing, therapeutic, and I will definitely get this information from you. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much for having me, Amita.